Alrighty, another response to a Rikerish poll. And this one, Eric?
It's a Star Trek poll.
Of course.
Which is the worst episode of Star Trek out of these four? We got, in this order, Spock's Brain, Code of Honor from the Next Gen,
Season 1.
Move Along Home, DS9, or Threshold from Voyager.
All right.
Out of this, which of these is the worst episode? Okay, so out of this, which is the worst of these? Because there's a lot worse than...
Oh, no, let's talk about that.
Is.
No, there is. Believe me.
Whoa.
So let's go with the first one.
Let's go. Take them in order, man.
Spock's Brain. That is not the worst episode ever. There's Mira. There's a couple other ones. The Armageddon one.
The Way to Eden.
The Way to Eden. But it does have... It is quotable. The Way to Eden.
Yeah.
Herbert, but, you know.
Yeah.
But,
and
Spock's Brain is Feminism Realized, and I have to get my book out from when I was going to college, and it talks about, you know, it's a feminist book, and it talks about the evils of man and their plans to take over, and it sounds exactly like that world. And so there's so many other episodes of classic Star Trek, TOS, that are worse than Spock's Brain. So that's a no.
It is among the worst, but it's not the worst.
I don't even think it's a word. I mean, it's Feminism Realized. And we're going to go into a whole video about just that, Spock's Brain. So let's go to Code of Honor, which...
Season 1...
Mid-season, because Yar's still there.
Which was lackluster overall.
I mean, I liked the weapon that they had.
But...
It was pretty kind of racist, I guess. It was a script from Phase 2, I'm sure.
The first appearance of the Ferengi was not anything to write home about.
Right.
It was pretty god-awful.
But the episode was interesting. The concept of the last outpost, but having the Ferengi there just shit the bed.
Well, that and their design and... I mean, for these Ferengi that would develop into what they would become later, I mean, they're wearing, like, these funky fur things, and they got the goofy laser whips, and it was ridiculous. And they're supposed to be these capitalists that value, like...
the money!
Yeah.
So, and also, the way they were described in Encounter at Farpoint.
Yes.
All right... It is a far worse episode, and especially that one where he tries to make Riker a Q. That was a god-awful episode. There are so many more worthy episodes than Code of Honor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or maybe they should have done a system of, like, which is the worst TNG episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to wonder if this is, like, all specific to those series.
Yeah.
The worst TOS episode, Spock's Brain. The worst Next Gen, Code of Honor. The worst DS9, Move Along Home.
So let's go to Move Along Home. It's silly, but it's not the worst episode. The worst one is the Scalians or whatever with the flaky skin.
Yeah.
That's the worst episode.
You know what? The worst episode of DS9 was the death of Jedzia Dax.
That's true too.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
Exactly. Just saying.
So, and the only one that's really like I can get behind is Threshold.
Threshold, Voyager, yeah.
Not only because it's a stupid concept that you go infinite velocity after they've already shown in All Good Things that ships can go warp 13.
Okay.
So,
well, I think that it's a technological, idea that if you're technologically advanced enough, you can go as fast as you can.
Yeah.
It's just that the tech had to catch up with it because I really think that is the thing, is limitations on the actual technology itself.
But then for it to affect Paris like that, it just doesn't. And then here's the problem. So his evolution took time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, he just grabs Janeway. And why is it Janeway?
Because
Kate Mulgrew needed some dickin'.
Something.
Because
she's the captain, and the
Captain Hillary.
And
I'm like, and then all of a sudden she turns into one too, and to mate.
Yeah.
A biological imperative. That's what he does. What? Sweet baby Christ on Sunday with rubber fucking crutches. That is the worst episode ever.
Yeah.
That even beats Mira. It does. Because it is just so...
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Bonk, bonk on the head.
Right? Oh, my God.
Stupid grups.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy having these discussions because it makes you thinking about Star Trek, and it's like, like proper Star Trek, yeah.
You know?
But I'm just, so what do you think? Because you haven't said anything about Threshold.
No, but that one was bad. And there were some other candidates in Voyager, though, too, that were just not good.
Please. Oh, that's right. Because Eric's only seen Voyager once.
Most of it, I've only
most of it. He hasn't even seen all of them. Yeah.
No. Most of the episodes I've only seen once.
Yeah.
Some of them I've seen a few times, but I really only followed Voyager while it was on its first run.
Yeah.
And week to week, and watched it every week. I've seen them all, but I don't remember hardly any of it as far as specific details or even titles. But there was the one. Anything involving the Kazon.
Yeah. And then what about Caretaker, too? The premiere episode. Another one that was a shitter. Just like Counter at Farpoint.
Yeah. I mean, DS9 The Emissary is still the best pilot premiere of the next-gen era Treks.
Yeah.
Hands down. No contest. We do a poll for that, which was the best or worst premiere out of those series.
Yeah.
Because and we even include Enterprise in that.
Oh yeah.
Because that was part of that whole run.
Broken Bow.
Yeah.
God awful.
Was not good either. Yeah.
Because
they had to go to the Klingon homeworld in the opening episode of Enterprise.
Yeah. What?
Really?
Right?
And that's gonna hook you in to just love this series.
Fucking Klingons, like. Yeah.
Not even getting into
season 3,
the new Trek.
Oh no, new Trek.
No,
new Trek doesn't exist.
But
new Trek doesn't exist.
But Discovery going to Kronos is, really, way back in those days.
The Enterprise.
No, the Discovery.
The Discovery went too.
I'm pretty sure they went, but the Klingon War.
Well, I never watched STD, so remember when we tried to watch that one episode?
Right.
I almost broke out into fucking hives. How long did it last? 10 minutes, maybe?
Like, please make it stop. You're like Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange, man. Ludwig Van, make it stop.
Right?
And I got your eyes wide open, and and you're just like, ah. Yeah, you're tied to the chair and torturing you. Just straight torture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the return to Talos.
God. If memory serves,
even
was the title. Yes.
I'm
that kind of nerd. I remember titles too.
The design and look of the Talosians was god awful.
Right.
It was just God, and
they looked like those other aliens from that one episode in TOS. Remember where they were torturing that gal that was in that soap opera?
Yes.
They look more like those instead of the Talosians.
Yes, the empath.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they didn't look like the Talosians.
No.
By any stretch. They were just, God.
Just horribles.
And the hairless Klingons just was...
Oh, my.
Just inexcusable.
Thank you. So.
But, back to this poll... Yeah, for sure the
Threshold.
The Threshold is the worst of the ones on this list, for sure.
And it's probably the worst. I would, yeah.
It's up there with among the worst episodes.
It would fit right in with STD.
And
but of course, it would have to be two men having babies or something.
Right.
If it was an STD episode.
And and as far as next gen, yeah.
That's a contender, but there were some other ones that were pretty bad. They were worse.
There were a couple of the holodeck episodes that were just, oh my God.
You mean 01101? That one was pretty bad.
Oh, with the binars?
Yeah. Which the concept was good, but just...
But...
Like, we got to hook two people, so let's give Riker, the best masturbatory fucking hologram ever.
But
But remember,
but Robin Hood and
that was okay.
You know, I am not a merry man. And then he takes Geordie's lute and smashes it and hands it back to him. Sorry.
That's funny.
It was straight out of Animal House, John Belushi.
Oh, yeah, but so what?
And so
all right, and
which, you know, you can
and an
appreciate.
aside, so Ray was texting me last night. Oh, Shatner, 2004 was in a poker tournament. Here you go, and because he was watching it on TV,
Uh-huh.
and then he was watching another one with Mr. LaForge, LeVar Burton, the racist,
Right.
and Wheaton, and I go, so did Kevin Spacey drop him off? And just and then so what does Ray say? Ray goes, well, yeah, but LeVar was, Geordie. He doesn't say LeVar. He says Geordie. He says he was on the coke that night. And he was all bug eyed and shit. And oh my god! So I gotta see that one. That one would be fun. And then he was saying something about Will Wheaton. He couldn't even raise a mustache or something. I'm like, oh. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't like Will Wheaton, and I didn't like him before it was cool not to like him. So there. But yeah,
well, it took Star Trek and Geordie LaForge to at least get LeVar Burton out from under the Kunta Kinte. I mean, he was known as Kunta Kinte until Star Trek.
Yeah, well, So anyway, tell us what you think about this poll. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think about Spock's brain? Let us know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe.